University Challenge. Asking the questions and more learning.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge. The second round of quarterfinals is now complete. Christ College Cambridge and Darwin College Cambridge are safely through to the semis, having managed the 2 wins they needed to progress, and Imperial and the Open University have been eliminated after back-to-back losses. Now, the 4 teams that won one of their games but lost the other will play one last time to determine whether they'll be staying in the competition. The team from Warwick are here tonight, having beaten the University of East Anglia in round 1, Oriel College Oxford in round 2 and Queen's University Belfast in their first quarter-final before losing to Christ College Cambridge in their second. Speed has been one of their biggest strengths so far, but in that match against Christ, they were perhaps a little too hasty on some of their bonuses. In all their matches, they've shown us they know a lot about history, classical music and philosophy, and their average score so far is 215. Let's meet the team from Warwick once again.
Hello, my name is Zania Govindarajan. I'm from Edgware in North London and I'm studying engineering.
Hello, I'm Thomas Hart. I'm from a village called Miskin in South Wales Valleys and I study maths.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Oscar Siddle. I'm from Islington in London and I'm also studying maths.
Hello, I'm Benjamin Watson. I'm from Amersham in Buckinghamshire and I'm studying PPE.
The team from UCL have had a slightly bumpier ride getting to this point. They lost their first match against the Open University, then beat St Andrews in the round 1 repechage and LSE after that. They then lost again against Darwin College Cambridge in their first quarter-final, which earned them a rematch against the OU, which they won, thanks to their very impressive knowledge of the writer Octavia Butler, the films of Tilda Swinton and varieties of seaweed. With an average score of 200, let's meet the team from UCL for the 6th time.
Hi, my name's Callum Jack. I'm from Sutton in South London and I'm studying for a Masters in Science Communication.
Hello, I'm Josh Mandel from North London and I'm studying for a Masters in United States History and Politics.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Olivia Holtman-Entwistle. I'm from London and I'm studying for a PhD in Human Geography.
Hi, I'm Sanjay Prabhakar. I'm from London and I'm studying for a Masters in Science Education.
Last chance saloon, guys. You win, you're through. You lose, you're out. You ready? Good luck. Fingers on buzzers. Here's your first starter for 10. What 6-letter word appears in the titles of both these video games? A BAFTA-winning puzzle game of 2014 by Us2 Games, in which the player must navigate isometrically presented architectural labyrinths reminiscent of works by M.C. Escher.
Warwick Watson.
Valley.
Yes, that game was Monument Valley and the other would have been Stardew Valley. Your bonuses, Warwick, are on the Vitra Furniture Company's Weil am Rhein campus, which includes buildings by a number of notable architects. The Design Museum on the Vitra campus was the first major work in Europe by which North American architect? His later works in Europe include the Disney Village complex in Disneyland Paris and the Nationale Nederlanden building in Prague, also called the Dancing House.
The Dancing House is Gary, I think.
Okay,
Sure. Yeah.
Gary?
Yes. Consisting of 12 elongated gabled houses stacked at intersecting angles, the main shop on the Vitra campus was designed by which Swiss architectural firm, known by the names of its 2 founders? The firm's other works include the Tate Modern and the Allianz Arena in Munich.
Nominate Watson.
Herzog and de Meuron.
Yes. Born in Baghdad in 1950, which architect contributed a fire station to the campus, described by Vitra as resembling a frozen explosion? It was her first major completed project.
Hadid?
Yes, it is Zaha Hadid. Fingers on buzzers, here's another starter for 10. After a biblical figure, what name is given to the series of agrarian riots that took place in West Wales between 1839 and 1844 in protest against toll gates and the
Warwick Hart.
The Rebecca riots.
Well done, it is indeed, yeah. 3 questions for you, Warwick, on the Roman Empire. The year 69 is known as the year of the 4 emperors. After a period of civil war following the death of Nero, which emperor succeeded Galba, Otho and Vitellius, founding the Flavian dynasty?
Vespasian?
Yes. 193 was the year of the 5 emperors. Who emerged successful from the period of strife that began in this year, founding the dynasty that bears his name? He died at York in 211.
Yeah. Nominate Hart.
Septimius Severus.
Well done. The year of the 6 emperors in 238 was part of the crisis of the 3rd century. Which emperor restored efficient government after his accession in 284? He abdicated more than 20 years later?
This is Diocletian, I think.
Okay, Diocletian.
Well done. It is indeed. Let's start the question. Born in the Republic of Genoa in 1625, which astronomer gives his name to a family of quartic curves described by a point such that the product of its distance from two fixed points positioned 2a apart is a constant b squared, which take the shape of a single oval or dog bone when a is less than b, a lemniscate when a is equal to b, and a pair of unlinked ovals when a is greater than b. He also gives his name to a dark region on Saturn's moon Iapetus and the gap between Saturn's A and...
UCL Mandel.
Cassini.
It is Cassini, well done. Your bonuses then, UCL, 3 questions on the Canadian physician and biochemist Maud Menton. Collaborating with the German biochemist Leonor Michaelis from 1912, Menton developed a theory to explain the mechanism and velocity of reactions involving which types of proteins?
Enzymes, presumably. Yeah. Enzymes?
Yes. In 1944, Menton became the first to successfully distinguish hemoglobins using what technique? It involves separating electrically charged molecules in a fluid using an electric field.
So it's not spectroscopy.
Is it electrolysis?
It sounds
plausible.
like electrolysis.
Yeah. Should we say that? Not some. There's no
No.
spectroscopy. Okay. Electrolysis?
No, it's electrophoresis. Menton also helped develop a dye reaction to identify what enzymes found in cell membranes and known by the abbreviation ALP, the levels of which serve as an indicator of liver and kidney function.
Alanine phosphatases, I think they are.
Okay.
Alanine phosphatases?
No, I can't take that. I'm so sorry. It's alkaline phosphatase. Bad luck. Let's start a question, and it's a picture round now. For your picture starter, you'll see a quotation by an ancient philosopher. For 10 points, give me the name of the philosopher.
UCL Prabhakar.
Aristotle.
It is indeed, yes. Man is by nature a political animal. Following on from the statement by Aristotle that you saw for your picture starter, your bonuses will be 3 more quotations from Greek philosophers. And again, I just want the name of the philosopher in each case. First.
Heraclitus, because it's a river.
Yeah.
Heraclitus.
Heraclitus?
Well worked out, yeah. You can't step into the same river twice, quoted in Plato's Cratylus. Secondly.
Atomos.
If it's atomos, it's probably Democritus. Atomism.
I don't know.
Yeah, Democritus.
Yeah.
Democritus?
Well worked out, yeah. That's the first principles of the universe are atoms and empty space. Well done. And finally?
So life. Biotos.
Something man at the end.
Life
Two man.
It's about life.
Plato, or Socrates. I feel like it's going to be a big
I
hitter.
don't know what the rest is, so
Who should we go for, Plato or Socrates?
no, it wouldn't be Socrates.
No, okay.
So try Plato.
Plato.
You were Socrates, bad luck. The unexamined life is not worth living. Fingers on buzzers, here's another starter for 10. In 1954, for his Diplôme d'études supérieures, Jacques Derrida submitted a thesis on the problem of Genesis in the work of which philosopher born in...
UCL Prabhakar.
Hegel.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Born in Moravia in 1859. Derrida later produced an introduction to and translation of this philosopher's Origin of Geometry, and he was the subject of Derrida's 1967 work, Voice and Phenomenon, which discusses the concept of the sign in his phenomenology.
Warwick Hart.
Husserl?
It is Edmund Husserl. Your bonuses then are on Wales. In each case, name the most populous city or town that lies on the coast between the 2 named locations. All 3 answers have Welsh names that begin with the same 4 letters, but the English name, where it differs, is enough for the points. First, for 5 points, Cardigan and Barmouth.
Oh dear, right. So I don't know where Barmouth is, that's the problem. Let's...
Barmouth is on the west coast somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, try Aberystwyth.
Okay, Aberystwyth.
It is. Barmouth is gorgeous, by the way. Second, Pembroke Dock and St David's.
Oh, so,
Aber something.
what's Aber out that way? Aberfan, I suppose. No, that's in the Valleys, it's not Aberfan. I don't know what the Welsh word for Tenby is, try Tenby.
Tenby.
No, that's Milford Haven or Aberdaugleddau. Finally, Port Talbot and Tenby.
Oh, so that'll be Abertawe, Swansea.
Okay, Swansea.
Yes, that's correct. Fingers and buzzers, here's another starter question. Which play by Euripides opens with a soliloquy from Aphrodite in which the audience is informed of the goddess's anger at the title character, who has rejected love and marriage and chosen instead to honour Artemis?
UCL Prabhakar.
Hippolytus.
Yes, it is. Well done. Your bonuses then are 3 questions, UCL, on a poet. A memorial to which poet laureate in Westminster Abbey bears words from That Morning, a poem about salmon fishing?
It's going to be Ted Hughes, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ted Hughes?
It is Ted Hughes. In his Tales from Ovid, of which rejected nymph from Greek mythology does Hughes write, but love was fixed in her body like a barbed arrow?
Is it
Echo?
Echo?
I was thinking
That was my first thought.
Yeah.
She was rejected, wasn't she?
Echo?
Yes. Published in 1960, Hughes' collection Lupercal takes its title from a cave associated in legend with which brothers?
Romulus and Remus, surely.
Romulus and Remus?
Yes, well done. Let's start the question. In Japanese, what word describes the 47 loyal retainers of a well-known historical story who avenged their lord by killing a corrupt official? This Japanese term refers both to a masterless samurai...
UCL Jack.
Ronin?
Well done, it is Ronin. Your bonuses then, UCL, are on people with the given name Louise. Give the surname of each from the description. First, a romantic composer and virtuoso pianist born in Paris in 1804. Her notable works include 3 symphonies and a nonette in E-flat major for strings and winds.
I've heard of her. I'm not going to remember the surname.
No.
Something French?
Pass.
That's Louise Farrenc. Secondly, an American sculptor born near Kiev in 1899. She's known for large monochromatic sculpted walls, usually made from wood, and public artworks such as Shadows and Flags, located in New York City in a plaza that bears her name.
Louise?
No
It's not
idea.
Louise Bourgeois, is it?
No, that's what I was expecting. Okay, a plaza. Should we say like Rockefeller?
Go with whichever Louise, at least they are a Louise artist.
Well, it's Louise Bourgeois is not American, though.
But she was born somewhere else, wasn't she?
Okay, well, it's not, but Louise Bourgeois.
No, it's Louise Nevelson. Finally, a US poet born in 1943 whose collections include The House on Marshland and Faithful and Virtuous Night. She won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2020.
Nominate Mandel.
Gluck.
Yes, Louise Gluck, well done. Let's start the question. In biology, what 2-word term, commonly abbreviated ECM, denotes a non-cellular component primarily made up of water and proteins such as collagen and fibronectin and scaffolded to cells by proteins such as integrins that forms connective tissue and contributes to the biomechanical properties of body tissues?
UCL Jack.
Extracellular membrane?
No? Anyone from Warwick?
Warwick Hart.
Extracellular matrix?
It is indeed, yes. Foul that, UCL.
Doesn't get
Puts you in the lead. 3 questions on the biological process known as fractionation. To lyse or burst cells prior to fractionation, they can be incubated in a solution containing low concentrations of salt. What 9-letter term referring to a low osmotic pressure is used to describe this type of solution?
Anything?
It's not coming to me.
Pass.
Hypotonic. To isolate the heavy nuclei of lysed cells from the rest of the mixture, the cell lysate can be centrifuged at 700 G. To what does the letter G for golf refer to in this instance?
700G. I'm blanking completely, sorry.
Probably something to do with spinning because it's a centrifuge. Maybe
Gyro, maybe?
gyration? Yeah, something like that.
Gyrations.
Yeah.
Gyro?
No, it's just gravity. The force of gravity. The more dense, rough endoplasmic reticulum can be separated from smooth endoplasmic by centrifugation. This is because rough ER is covered in what protein RNA complexes?
I have no idea. Anything? Okay, pass.
Ribosomes. Let's start the question. It's a music round now, and for your music starter, you're going to hear an extract from a Russian opera. For 10 points, name its composer.
Warwick Hart.
Szulski?
Well done. It is indeed. Well done. Your music bonuses then, Warwick. The piece you heard for your starter was from Mussorgsky's opera Boris Godunov, for which he wrote the libretto himself. Your music bonuses will be arias from 3 more operas where the composer wrote their own libretto. And again, I just want the composer's name in each case. First, the French composer of this opera based on Virgil's Aeneid.
I don't know if he wrote the libretto,
I think Berlioz is laid Troya and it's based on the Aeneid, so try Berlioz.
Okay. Berlioz?
Absolutely spot on. Secondly, the composer of this opera, she adapted its libretto from a story by W.W. Jacobs.
What did W.W. Jacobs write? He wrote something famous.
Okay.
I think he wrote The Monkey's Paw, but I don't know of an opera called The Monkey's Paw. Okay, contemporary female.
Female composers who wrote opera.
Judith Rhea would be a guess.
Okay. Where?
No, that was by Ethel Smythe. And finally, the Italian composer of this opera.
Leon Cavallo.
Leon Cavallo.
It is indeed, yes. Now let's start the question. The Birth of the Princess in Florence and The Flight from Blois are among the 24 paintings in a series by Rubens on the
Work hard.
Marie de Medici.
It is indeed, yes. Your bonuses then are 3 questions on national flags that contain a common element. Which country's coat of arms includes a palm tree flanked by cannons, flags and rifles that is topped with a small cap of liberty or Phrygian cap? These arms appear in a white square in the centre of the country's national flag.
Haiti?
Yes. 2 countries have coats of arms based on that of the defunct Federal Republic of Central America, which includes a small red Phrygian cap above a range of 5 mountains. Name either of them. Again, in both cases, the arms appear at the centre of their national flags.
Okay,
So Paraguay has one in the
No, we're in Central America, so...
Central. Okay.
The
Nicaragua and Guatemala have some.
El Salvador's got, I think, something in the central flag, but problems I can't remember.
I think Nicaragua has something. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Nicaragua?
Yes, Nicaragua or El Salvador was the other one. Which country's national flag includes a circular seal featuring a lion and a red Phrygian cap on its obverse side only?
Oh, well, Paraguay's the only one with a different thing.
Okay, so go for it.
Paraguay?
Yes, well done. Let's start the question. I need a specific culinary term here. According to the author Sue Scott, the basis of seasoning in Korean cuisine is 3 fermented products, these being fermented bean paste, soy sauce, and what versatile red pepper paste?
UCL Jack.
Got you, Jack.
Yes, it is indeed. 3 questions for you, UCL, on a film studio. Launched by Mussolini in 1937 under the slogan, "Cinema is the strongest weapon," which film studio was sometimes referred to as Hollywood on the Tiber?
I've got no idea.
Cinema Italia, something like that. Studio.
Yeah.
Studio Roma.
No, that was Cinecittà. Time magazine coined the phrase Hollywood on the Tiber in 1950 for the title of an article on the production at Cinecittà of which MGM sword and sandal film. It features Peter Ustinov as Emperor Nero and has a 2-word Latin title.
Quo Vadis.
Quo Vadis.
Yes. Which Italian director described the studios as my ideal world, the cosmic space before the Big Bang? 2 of his most famous films were shot at Cinecittà, these being La Dolce Vita and Casanova.
Fellini.
Yes, it is. Well done. The Kanem-Bornu Empire emerged in around the year 900 to the northeast of which African lake? At its height...
Warwick Watson.
Chad?
It is Lake Chad. Well done. Your bonuses, Warwick, are on the 9 completed symphonies of Gustav Mahler, in the words of BBC Music magazine. In each case, identify the symphony from the description, so each answer will be a single-digit number. Quote, ask anyone which Mahler symphony they should first head for. Many will say this one without hesitation. These words refer to which symphony, first performed in 1904 and opening with a trumpet solo.
This is 5.
Yeah,
5.
Yes. Which of Mahler's symphonies does BBC Music rank in 2nd place? It describes it as having an ecological agenda. The opening movement, all 35 minutes of it, depicts the natural world awakening.
Oh, okay, this is going to be one of the ones I don't know then.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 5, and it's not 8.
Could it be...
What else do people like?
Just say Pastoral Symphony.
Could be 3 or 4.
No, but
there's
that's not a
nothing
nickname. Try 4.
Okay, 4.
No, it's 3. Premiered in 1912, which of Mahler's symphonies does the magazine rank as the best? It is described as a glorious apotheosis and a brave new dawn, scored for vast orchestral forces.
I think this is...
One of the later ones, isn't it? If it's a bigger orchestra.
I'll try 9. I don't think it'd be 8 because they mentioned the choruses, so try 9.
Okay, 9.
Yes, well done. Gonna start the question now. I need a 3-word term or 3-letter abbreviation here. Rotation at an angle of approximately 54.7 degrees, or magic angle spinning, is a technique used in the solid state form of what form of spectroscopy?
Warwick Hart.
NMR?
Yep, nuclear magnetic resonance, exactly. Well done. Your bonuses are on sporting venues, Warwick, the names of which all end with the same word. Dating from 1872, what stadium in Dublin, used predominantly for association football and rugby, was demolished in 2007 and replaced by the larger Aviva Stadium?
Is this Croke Park?
Could be Croke Park.
Okay, cool.
Might still exist. I don't know.
Yeah, Croke Park.
No, Croke Park is the home of Gaelic sport. We're after Lansdowne Road. In 1899, Worcestershire County Cricket Club moved to what ground owned by the nearby cathedral until bought by the club in 1976? Increased flooding problems in recent years have forced the club to consider a permanent move away.
So something road. I mean, you know more about cricket than I do. I think cricket ground that's in road.
No, pass.
New Road. At the start of the 2023-24 season, what became the smallest home ground in Premier League history with a capacity of just over 10,000?
Luton.
It's Luton, but
What's Luton Stadium called?
it's Luton Road, can we?
No, not Elland Road. That's the. It's not
it's not.
Loftus Road. That's QPR.
Come on.
Oh, this is famous. Sorry, I
Luton Road.
It's Kenilworth Road. It is Luton's home ground. Picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a painting. For 10 points, name the artist.
Warwick Siddle.
Kaibot.
It is Caillebotte, yes. On his death in 1894, Gustave Caillebotte, whose work you saw for your picture starter, bequeathed a collection of works by his contemporaries to the French state, but with the condition that they must be displayed in major national museums. Unconvinced of the work's value, the authorities at the time nearly refused the bequest, but after some negotiation accepted most of them, which now form a significant part of the Impressionist collections of the Musée d'Orsay. For your picture bonuses, you simply need to identify the painters of 3 of them. First.
Monet, yeah. Monet?
Yes. Second.
Oh, maybe like Sisley or...
I was thinking maybe Sisley. I don't recognise it, though.
Sisley?
No, that was by Camille Pissarro. Finally.
Cézanne, probably, right?
Yeah, Cézanne.
Cézanne?
Yeah, of course it is. Let's start the question. Identify the mid-20th century poet who wrote these lines. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. They appear in her poem, One Art.
UCL Jack.
Plath.
No.
Warwick Hart.
HD.
No, it's Elizabeth Bishop. Let's start the question. New economic geography and new trade theory are concepts associated with which US Nobel laureate, author of...
Warwick Watson.
Krugman.
It is Paul Krugman, yeah. Your bonuses then, Warwick, are on ring theory in mathematics. What name is given to a substructure of a ring R, which is an additive subgroup of R, and which is also closed under multiplication by all the elements of R?
This is an ideal.
Ideal?
Yes. Rings that satisfy the ascending chain condition, that is, every sequence of nested ideals has a maximal element, are given what name after a German mathematician?
Noetherian.
Nominate Hart.
Noetherian. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it.
Yes, that's absolutely fine. Named after Emmy Noether, yes. What name is given to an ideal I such that if AB is contained in I, then either A or B is contained in I? This is a generalization of Euclid's lemma, a result about an important type of number.
I think it's just prime.
Okay, prime.
It is just prime, yes. Let's start the question. Meanings of what short word include, in building, a foundation component comprising a vertical column of timber, concrete or similar, in heraldry, an ordinary that resembles a downward pointing triangle, and the raised surface of a carpet or a material such as velvet.
UCL Jack.
Pile.
It is pile, yes. 3 questions on the philosophy of Immanuel Kant. What word precedes idealism in a term that Kant used to describe his philosophy?
Transcendental.
Yes. What word follows transcendental in the abbreviation TA? That's Tango Alpha, a term meaning the ability to tie all appearances together into one experience.
Apperception. Apperception.
Yes, relating to logic and the drawing of conclusions. What word follows transcendental in the abbreviation TD? That's Tango Delta.
Deduction, yeah. That sounds...
I mean, it must be. Yeah.
Deduction.
Yes. Let's start the question. In a 1958 paper, which US physicist who died in 2022 first proposed the existence of the phenomenon now known as solar wind? In 2017, he became the first living person to have a spacecraft named after him when NASA...
Warwick Siddle.
James Webb.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Named after him when NASA renamed its Solar Probe Plus in his honour. No, I'll tell you, it's Eugene Parker. Let's start a question. The Latin motto of which US state translates as, If you are seeking a pleasant peninsula, look around you.
UCL Mantle.
Florida.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. Split into 2 peninsulas, known as Upper and Lower, it has...
Warwick Hart.
Michigan.
It is Michigan, yes. Your bonuses are on the Arab leader Hussein bin Ali al-Hashimi, Sharif of Mecca. Following the success of the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire, in 1916, Hussein was recognised as king of what region that includes the holy cities of Mecca and Medina?
Oh, did they just, I mean,
Could it just be Arabia?
just Arabia, maybe? I have no idea.
No, it's gonna be more
more
specific.
general, but
Is Hejaz a region or is it a dynasty?
Let's go
it
for
might be
that.
both.
Hejaz?
Yes. The kingdom of Hejaz would be conquered in 1925 by the forces of Ibn Saud, then Sultan of what Central Arabian region?
Central Arabia.
No, I don't know.
I'm not going to pull it, just pass.
Okay, pass.
Nejd. One of Hussein's 4 sons, Abdullah, became emir of Transjordan, while younger son Faisal was made king of what British Mandate territory in 1921?
There was a mandate in Palestine by that.
I think Yemen was a British mandate.
There were lots of British mandates.
I think Yemen's better than.
Yemen
I mean,
seems
there was
more
never king of Palestine.
Okay, sure. Yemen.
No, it's Iraq. Let's start a question. What Chinese dynasty was the most recent to be included in a work of over 3,000 volumes known as the 24 Histories, compiled in the mid-18th century on the orders of the Qianlong Emperor?
UCL Mantle.
Ming.
It is. Your bonuses, UCL, are on writers published by Virago. In each case, name the author from the information provided on the Virago website. First, a quote. Acerbic, wisecracking and hilarious, style icon, an essayist who arrived in New York over 50 years ago. She collaborated with Martin Scorsese on the 2021 documentary series Pretend It's a City.
Oh, Leibowitz.
Yes. Secondly, a writer who was born in England in 1902 but grew up in East Africa. In 1936, she became the first person to fly across the Atlantic from east to west and is now, quote, primarily remembered as the author of the memoir West with the Night.
Oh, Athill? Diana Athill?
Go for it.
Diana Athill?
It's Beryl Markham. Finally, an author born in 1928 who, quote, lived and chronicled an extraordinary life, rising from poverty, violence and racism. She became a renowned author, memoirist, poet, playwright, civil rights activist, working with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Oof, 28.
Audre Lorde. She's too young.
Oh, I think she's too young. Bell Hooks is a bit young.
Oh, it's definitely too young.
Go with that. Just say something.
Go.
It's Audre Lorde. It's not.
No, it is Maya Angelou. Let's start a question. Anne Boleyn, Mary Queen of Scots, and Robert Devereux are among title characters of operas by which
Warwick Hart.
Donizetti.
It is Donizetti, yes. Your bonuses are on names in life sciences that share their last 3 letters with the names of South American capitals. For example, carnivores and Buenos Aires. In each case, identify the term and the capital from the description. First, a plant genus. And at the goal, UCL of 125 and Warwick of 220. Oh, UCL. What a run you've had. It feels like you've been on TV every week since about 2005. And it's been such a pleasure getting to know you. I mean, I feel dreadful asking if you had a good time, but I can sort of tell that you have enjoyed the experience, haven't you?
We have. Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute thrill getting to know you. Thank you so much for playing so well and being such great sports. Warwick, I mean, anything over 200 at this stage is terrific, especially against that kind of calibre of opposition. You just knew a bit about everything, didn't you? It was really, really good. It was a really, really, really strong performance. That means we're going to see you again. You are through to the semi-finals. Congratulations. I hope you could join us next time for the last of this year's quarter-finals. But until then, it is now goodbye from UCL.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye for now from Warwick.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye for now from me. Goodbye.